I know he's gonna wild out and he's gonna do something crazy.
Hey, yo, he
Everybody
came
wants
in
to
with these
know
sounds.
what I would do if I didn't win. I guess we'll never know.
Baltimore came to see Big Bro, walked out with another L, 18-16. Russell Wilson completed 23 passes, 205 yards, no touchdowns, and a pick.
Just like
Lamar
now, more these
Jackson.
sounds.
I forgot how to add sounds. All right, let's start with the defense. Because that was the most impressive part of this game to me. The way that they were able, and John Harbaugh helped with that, and I'll let y'all talk about that. He helped out a little bit, him and Monken. But I mean, the way that we were able to contain Lamar, he had one big run, two big runs. You hold Lamar to two big runs, you doing something that got pressure up the middle. Linebacker play was amazing. Shout out to P Queen, covered well, run game, caused turnovers. Secondary, salute to Joey Porter Jr. after the week he had against the Commanders. That was a guy that I was looking for to really step up. And when you see the stats, when 31 pass snaps, no catches allowed, 22 of those came against Bateman. That's big. That was big because the game that he had against the Commanders was horrid. He penalties, just allowing too much separation. That was a real big performance from him. Terrell Austin, Mike Tomlin. They called a hell of a game. And it's from familiarity. They know how to stop the Ravens offense. And the one thing I was concerned about was coming off of last year, where I mean, you can't take outside of just the win, you really couldn't take credit for that win because I mean, it was a bunch of drops. Like that game should have been out of hand, but it was a bunch of drops. I honestly thought coming to this game that all right, maybe Lamar shook some of those demons that he has against us off, and it was time for him to, especially with the season that he's having, what better way to put a stamp on MVP to go against a team that you historically struggle against and have a Lamar Jackson type of game. So to be able to negate that, that was big. That I left that game, watching that game like, all right, this defense is Super Bowl caliber. It was Super Bowl caliber. They gave up one big run to Derrick Henry. He had 65 yards on the ground. We talking about MVP and the offensive player of the year that you kept in a box. You kept in a box. That's nothing short of amazing. So salute to the defense for that. Now we can go to the offense. The offense is a little different. Now don't get me wrong. I do take the AFC North matchup a part of this. Like both offenses struggle. So I'm not gonna just forget what happened the past 3 weeks as far as points are concerned. But it was some things that I left shaking my head, like with Russ. It was a lot of old Denver Broncos Russ, where it's like, okay, Russ, yo, you gotta get rid of the ball. If you don't see something in 3-4 seconds, get rid of the ball. He left us in some tough positions, taking bad sacks behind the sticks. And he completed some throws, converted some big third downs, but it was just a performance that you just thought that the levee was about to break if you kept this Ravens offense in the game and kept it close because they are capable of breaking one big play and turning the outcome of a game upside down. It didn't happen, luckily, but I wanted a better performance from Russ. Wasn't expecting anything crazy because this is still a Raven football AFC North. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, but I like the way we were able to run the ball, especially late. George Pickens is George Pickens. He made his plays down the field. But it was just some questionable calls like that interception in the end zone. Russ, you kind of got to know your target. I get the thinking. Darnell Washington, 6'8". I'm gonna throw an alley oop and he's just gonna come down with it. But we got to realize he's not a natural passer. So he didn't even jump. He didn't even jump. Now you're thinking, all right, if he jumps, he's 7 feet in the air. Only he can come down with it. I get that, but you just gotta know your personnel. He has to be better than that because you really left us in a position where when that interception happened, I said, oh, shit, here it goes. Here it goes. Um, shout out to Peyton Wilson. That's gonna be my play of the week whenever we do it. That's the play of the week. That was a hell of an interception. That was just the antithesis of what this game has become. We want this more than you. We want this. Say that again. What happened?
Now I was asking John Harbaugh if he heard what you said.
Oh yeah, that play really sums up what this has become. We want this more than you. I heard all day, yo, y'all didn't score no touchdowns. Yo, that's not the big flex that you think it is. We beat you with 6 kids.
People were saying that as a diss.
Yo,
I would have flipped that real quick.
Yeah. Oh, you know me. Okay.
Yeah, it's even worse.
6 field goal. Yeah, that's not a flex.
Chris Boswell beat you.
Yeah, and those 6 field goals is not like we were kicking them from 70 yards away. We were moving the ball. We got in the red zone. That's my big issue. We have to fix this. This is an Arthur Smith issue. This goes to Atlanta. This goes kind of back to Tennessee when you just don't have Derrick Henry to ram the ball in, pause, in the red zone. He has to scheme. Yeah, I'm better than Keith. I pause. I knew what was about to happen. But he has to scheme up better. One of those where Rush just threw it away. We have 3 receivers running into the same spot in the end zone. That's just horrible spacing, horrible schematics. You just can't have that. And yeah, we're 8-2, and I think we can compete with anybody. But if you just constantly come out of drives with 3 instead of 6 or 7, you're putting yourself and your defense into a trick bag. And yes, the defense is great, but so are these offenses. You might not catch the Ravens on a day that they're struggling. You might not catch Buffalo on the day where they're struggling. Kansas City, whatever. We got to be better in the red zone. And it's not just a rush thing. We struggled with Justin Fields unless it was a broken down play and he ran into the end zone with his legs. We got to be better in that sense because I can pull we should have had more points. We should have had more points. And that's what, you're happy. You got the win. We should have more points. We should have more points. It shouldn't be one of those anomaly games where it's only been 5 times where the score is 18-16, and we have 4 of them. No, stop that. Stop that. It's cool. Chris Bars is the best kicker in the AFC North. I said it earlier this year. I think Justin Tucker proved that. I'll let y'all talk about that. But yeah, we gotta be better in the red zone. You gotta come away with 7. Great teams come away with 7. Great teams come away with 7. So yeah, we are a really good team, but we gotta be better in the red zone going forward. But outside of that, man, it's coaching. It's coaching. He had them boys ready. I like what I saw from my offensive line. I said on the last show, I wanted to see a fight. What I saw from Zach Frazier, what I saw from Mason McCormick, and what I saw from Broderick Jones, man, when Troy Fontenot comes back, our line is in good shape for years to come. They was looking for scraps. And I'm glad
they was cursing Broderick out in the stands, but
watching the TV, a lot of it I can see why. He had some holes, he had some penalties. He's going to be a highly penalized guy. He's still a raw talent. I'm glad Tomlin said what he said about him because he said, Zach, he's younger than Zach Frazier and Mason McCormick. He's played less football than them. He's just extremely talented. He just has to be coached up. He's still raw. I'm not even going to compare him to Dan Moore. He has way more talent than Dan Moore. He just has to play football. He's like a Anthony Richardson of offensive lines right now. He didn't play a lot of college football. He's still learning on the fly. He can get past with a lot of his athletic ability, but hey, if you're going to be a dog like that, he didn't really hurt us yesterday, and I get it. They're going to cuss him out. It's frustrating watching, but he wasn't horrible. He wasn't horrible yesterday. What I saw from them, welcome to the rivalry. Welcome. That set the tone. No, we hunting for blood right now. They took the fight to him. I was impressed. I was thoroughly impressed with the win. We'll talk about it later, but hey, you can't even dwell on it. You got the Browns in a couple days. And more AFC North football to come, but salute. Oh, before I transition to y'all, the Calvin Austin stuff. Keith, you were there. Did they say anything about Calvin Austin and it needing to stop? They didn't say nothing. Let me say it. Stop it. You went out and got Mike Williams. I do not want to see deep passes to 5'6" Calvin Austin.
They ain't saying nothing about that.
They should have. That has to stop. You got Mike Williams for a reason. I think he played 9 snaps.
Yeah.
He played 9 snaps in a game where, and salute to the Ravens, their secondary for the most part stepped up. The defense and for them stepped up. But you went out and got Mike Williams for this scheme specifically. I don't want to see go balls to Calvin Austin. You are using him wrong. I don't want to see Van Jefferson running out routes short of the sticks. And he didn't even help his cause out because he still dropped it. You went out and got Mike Williams for a reason. You paid Pat Frymuth for a reason. Scheme them guys open. Put the ball in your playmakers' hands and let them make plays. Calvin Austin has had a couple good games here and there. He is a return guy, wide receiver 4 guy. Let's use him like that. Let's use him like that and stop telling him to just run straight and utilize his very small catch radius. That is not good football. Not good football at all. You give a Ravens defense who was dead last in the pass game confidence. And that is not what I wanted them to have on Sunday. I did not want to have confidence instilled in them thinking that they can stop us. But all in all, I'm always be happy with the win. That's 8 out of 9. That's 8 out of 9. And I'll let y'all go, and then we can piggyback from that. But that's 8 out of 9.
Yeah, you went easy on us, Skull. I would have gave y'all hell if it was me.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I don't want to seem like, and I hope all that this is y'all Super Bowl shit is put to bed. It's not our Super Bowl. It's just like hooping with little bro on Thanksgiving. I gotta fuck you up twice a year. Thanksgiving, Christmas. When I see you, it's just gonna be a little pow. And it's just gonna be that. It's not the Super Bowl.
When little bro get out of line, sometimes you gotta pop him and let him know I'm big bro. Like,
hey, yo, stop talking to moms like that. Yo, fuck is your problem?
yeah, you gotta
Stop
be
talking to mom like that,
Yo. This
the fuck? Stop talking to mama like that. Yo, she raised you, yo. Have some respect.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga.
That's how I look at
she
it.
don't pop you, I'm going to.
Yeah, yo, like, yo, stop. So that's how I look at it.
Accountability.
Yeah, that's how I look at it. And I'm sure I'll have more things that'll pop up in my head, bouncing back off of y'all. But I know y'all got a lot more to say than I do, because that's usually what happens when you lose the game.
Play our drop, Keith. You want to start? You want me to take it? How you want to go about it?
No, go ahead. Keep it how we normally do.
Boy. First and foremost, I mean, congrats to Skull and the Steelers, man. Everything that I mentioned last show about what we need to do to win a game in Pittsburgh, we did the opposite. So, what is there to say? Said that we needed to play a clean brand of football. Said that we needed to stay away from catastrophic turnovers, the type of turnovers that the Steelers live on and breathe on and excel on. Couldn't do that. Not panicking, at the first sight of adversity. And adversity hit the second play of the game. Derrick Henry fumbled. Hadn't fumbled in a while. Second play of the game in Pittsburgh territory. The defense was able to get a stop on that drive and force a field goal, but that was just like a precursor of what was to transpire going forward. It was just tons and tons and tons of self-inflicted errors. And, again, we're the shoulda, coulda, wouldas. We're the Baltimore ifs. We always come after a game, a big game, and say, well, if we would have did this, or if this would have happened. It's always some excuses. And the fact of the matter is, this is who we are. This is who we've been. Talented team. A lot of star players, as far as, you only get one Lamar Jackson in the league, right? Zay Flowers is a guy. Derrick Henry, you only get one Derrick Henry, right? You have people like on defense, Matabuki. I mean, I could name the guys. You know what I mean? We have a good roster, a very good roster, but with that roster comes a culture that is just, we can't shake it. We fold in big moments. The penalties. We lead the league in penalties and penalty yardage. at a certain point, you have to look at John Harbaugh and ask, okay, why do we play so much undisciplined football versus a team like the Steelers, who, when you look at them play, they don't beat themselves, and that's why they can kick 6 field goals and beat you. You know what I mean? You can only do that when you don't turn the ball over a huge amount of times. You can only do that when you don't penalize yourself and put yourself behind the sticks. You can only do that when you're not missing field goals, right? For us to be able to get to where we want to be, the culture has to change, and it's not even about X's and O's as much as it's about how we conduct ourselves in adversity. It's a tired thing to keep talking about. It's tiring. You know, the same way we lost to the Steelers yesterday, it's the same way we've been losing to the Steelers. It's the same way we've been losing to the Chiefs. And again, like, this is why I can't come in and be hyped as all the other Ravens fans were after a Bucks win, or, you know what I mean, after beating up on, you know, the Broncos. It's like, bro, it's the Bucks. It's the Broncos. Like, decent teams, yeah, but this ain't January. Show me what you about in the biggest stage. And they showed us what we're about. Zay Flowers. You know what I mean? Ball's just, he's not even trying to catch the ball with his hands, just bouncing off your number. Like, it's inexplicable how we go about these things in the biggest moments. Justin Tucker, you know, it's cool to talk about Justin Tucker now, but when this sports page or this sports collective was talking about it last year, got attacked. Right? Oh, he's Justin Tucker. How could you say that? You have to give him faith. It's just one kick. Nah, it really wasn't just one kick. It was a series of kicks last year. What y'all thought it just would disappear? Those warning signs would just mysteriously go away? No, they got worse. Instead of missing from 50 plus, now he's missing from 40 plus. It's bad. He used to be a weapon. Hey, we can't get a touchdown on this drive, but we have Justin Tucker. That's an automatic 3. We don't even got to worry about it. You got to worry about it now. At this point, you gotta ask yourself: is it a better choice to go for it in certain situations than try Justin Tucker out there?
Valid
that is a problem. And then one thing I don't like about Justin Tucker right now is the simple fact that he's going to sit there and bring up the field conditions in Pittsburgh. I'm like, yo, I just seen somebody on the same field kick 6 field goals, and none of them went left, none of them went right. Them bad boys were straight down the middle. Ravens fans want to blame Jordan Stout.
I saw that. That was crazy.
Well, if it's Jordan Stout, why hasn't that been an issue corrected by coaching, right? And when I say coaching, get a new placeholder, if that's really the issue. But I'm talking about this. Justin Tucker's has been a couple seasons now where he hasn't been Justin Tucker. So you mean to tell me we had incorrect personnel in for a couple seasons, right? If it's just Jordan Stout, you mean to tell me we haven't made that adjustment already? We just gonna keep watching him do the things that's making Justin Tucker miss kicks? Either or don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? We just looking and grasping for excuses. And the simple fact of the matter is players need to play better. Coaches need to coach better too. Again, there's no reason why this team is so undisciplined. You know, John Harbaugh is finally saying that's on me. No shit. Play calling ain't on you. Adjustments ain't on you. You can't even throw a challenge flag at the right moments of time. So yeah, maybe getting your guys disciplined enough not to self-inflict wounds. Maybe that is something you should. I mean, what else are you doing, John? It can't just be holding hands with Eric DeCosta eating cookies that his wife baked for you. It can't be just that. You have to do something that aids the team, that benefits the team, that pushes us forward. Because when I see Mike Tomlin talking to George Pickens, when I see him saying, like, yo, y'all the playmakers. And this is an old clip. He has his wide receivers in the circle. He was like, man, like, y'all the playmakers. We gonna go with how y'all go take us. You know what I mean? Like, he just knows how to connect with his players and get the most out of them. As far as John, man, you know, and then you have Lamar at the podium saying, you know, the shit is getting annoying. You know, yeah. Well, what are y'all gonna do differently? It is getting annoying. And I can like even with that wheel route where we threw the ball to Justice Hill. The fact that they're coached to even have the wherewithal to make a play like that. You know what I mean? It was Justin Hill's ball until it wasn't. And that's a rookie. What was he? Was he an undrafted rookie, Scott?
Nah, he's from third round.
Third round?
Yeah.
Rookie third rounder. Making the play of the game. Making the play. And that's the rookie. I mean, we could talk about Brandon Stevens too. I'm all over the place because honestly, man, it really don't make sense trying to make sense of this. This is who we are. You know, we always want to talk about Super Bowl. Why are we talking about that? There's nothing that we've shown that points to the ability to get to a Super Bowl. And now, guess what? We have no control over how this division race looks, right? So now we're talking about a wild card. Now we're talking about having to win 3 playoff games, potentially with them being on the road. You think we're capable of that right now? We can't even win a home game. We can't even win a home playoff game. We got people coming on our stadium kicking our helmets around. You think we're going to go out there and do it on the road playing like this? Super Bowl? Us? Nah, not right now. Not without changes. Not without accountability, right? Not without just a total remake of kind of how we go about football. We got away from the dogs and we started talking about we like our guys and who's got it better than us. Nobody. You know, there are people that got it better than us. And a lot of people. I mean, have you seen the Bills play football? Even though they beat us, but hey, we're the regular season champs. We beat people in the regular season. The Bills ain't worried about that. That AFC championship, they've been did that. You know what I mean? Like they're the type of team that's trying to make amends. We're the type of team that wants to keep doing the shit over and over again. You know what I mean? We get Derrick Henry, and then Sko, you mentioned how you guys stopped us running the ball. No, you didn't.
Yeah, it was John Harbaugh.
13
touches. That's crazy.
Derrick Henry averaged 5 yards a carry. Even Justice Hill was getting large gains in his couple of carries, chunk gains, I should say. Lamar Jackson, when he did decide to run, and that's another thing. Like I get that you're trying to prove everybody that you're a quarterback, but didn't you try that in the AFC Championship? Right when you had rushing lanes, you decided not to take them. Seems like every big game he's trying to just not play to his capability as far as, you're both. You're a great quarterback and you're a great runner of the football. And sometimes if a team's giving it to you, take it. Right? If it's being given to you, take it. If somebody throw it at you, catch it. Listen, man, if you got 15 yards in front of you, sometimes we need those 15 yards because those 15 yards can get your team pumped up, right? Like those 15 yards can be the difference in between keeping the drive alive and punting to the Steelers. You know what I mean? And I do want to shout out to the defense because the defense actually played great, and there was a huge adjustment with our Darius Washington starting at safety and him and Kyle Hamilton being the guys back there, Marcus Williams being demoted to the bench. But Brandon Stevens, man, if you look at the coverage stats, Marlon Humphrey, 3 targets, 1 catch, 4 yards. Nate Wiggins, 3 targets, 2 catches, 4 yards. Tre'Davious White, who you guys tried to test a few times, 4 targets, 2 catches, 15 yards. Darius Washington, 2 targets, 2 catches, 2 yards. Kyle Hamilton, 1 target, 1 catch, 8 yards. Brandon Stevens, goddamn, Mr. Trail position, 9 targets, 7 catches, 78 yards. Can't make this shit up. You can't. You can't. And this is every week. People are, when John Gruden's sitting there unemployed, saying, if y'all want to beat the Ravens, find where number 21 is. Attack him every time. If he's saying that unemployed, what do you think people are doing that have to game plan for a living? And we just keep trotting them out there. You know what I mean? Hey, he's gonna. We like our guys, right? He's gonna get it at one point. We like him. It's just insulting, man. To continue to, bro. I don't mind losing. I'm not even a sore loser. So when you guys won, I immediately text you. I say, good game, big.
Sure.
Yeah, bro, I'm not a sore loser. It's just losing the same way each and every time, bro. That's frustrating. It's really frustrating. But go ahead, Keith.
Yeah, I mean, I was in the building, so I seen it before.
You should stop going. You need to stop going. You need to
Why?
stop. Might be
You
bad
know,
luck.
I
It's
don't
been a
think it's
while
bad.
since you've seen a win up there.
It's only been 2 years. I'm 3-3 up there, so I wouldn't go that far.
Well, you was there when Duck won. I mean, when y'all beat Duck, you was there for that.
You gotta be at least
Well,
for your last 3.
For
you
sure.
said what?
He's that
No, I'm 1-2 on my last 3.
one.
Maybe
So what
because
was it? Duck? It was
I
Duck.
don't know. It was the game with the J.K. Dobbins game I
J.K.
was talking
Dobbins,
about. When he
That
went
was
off.
when Lamar got hurt.
Lamar didn't play
Mitch.
either.
I forgot about that. I forgot about Mitch.
Nonetheless,
Thanks,
I
Mitch.
mean, like I said, this is nothing new, Skull. Like you know me, I know you since Dead Park. I didn't grow up on this. Like I didn't went to bed on Sunday night to a Steelers loss since I've been in like 5th grade. Like fans in the stands telling me, "Oh, blah, blah." I said, bro, I didn't live this 100 times. I didn't seen it 100 times. It's the same script, legit. It's no difference. It's the same exact script every year. Just undisciplined at this point. I mean, you go into the game, you lead the league in turnovers with 80, and what do? You tack on 12 more. Just no fluidity to the game yesterday to the offense, and you beat these teams week in, week out who people call playoff teams, but when you really look at the NFL as a landscape, it's really only like 5 to 6 championship teams, maybe 8 if you're being nice. So when you beat the Broncos, you beat the Bills the way they looked at that time, you beat the Bucks. I mean, yeah, it looks good, but when it comes down to teams that play a certain type of style of football, i.e. the Chiefs, the Steelers, you struggle, and you struggle tremendously. It doesn't look like those routes against other teams. Same way Cleveland's constructed, physical. You struggle with them as well too. So we got to get away from Baltimore being this physical brand of football, because that's not the brand of football that the Ravens play. Is it the brand we grew up on? Sure, it is. But that's not who the Ravens are today in 2024. The Ravens are a finesse team, and it shows when they go against other physical teams. And they showed yesterday against the Steelers, outclassed us physically. I mean, you look at the play that Justice Hill gets taken away. You look at the likely fumble. I mean, even the Henry fumble in the beginning. I mean, it's just the Ravens in these type games always find some way to get inopportune turnovers. And I mean, you thinking from the first Henry fumble, oh, it's about to be you know what time it is. And what's the defense do? They hold them to 3. They keep you afloat. And despite the defense doing that throughout the whole game, I mean, even 15-10, you guys driving, and what do? They force a turnover in the red zone. They get you the ball back, and you still, what do they do after that? I think that's when they had the Justice turnover. Mm-hmm. So you didn't even capitalize off the turnover. You get the ball back now. It's 18-10, which forces you now to go score, to go get the 2-point conversion. We didn't even talk about the 2-point conversion. But at this point, like, this is and Nick said, and it's funny that Nick said it, because I legit texted this to my chat, but I said we need a culture change in Baltimore. Like, that's it. Those are my exact words, word for word. It's when you continue to get beat the same way, like it's just not cutting it, bro. And at some point, the Ravens are gonna have to make a tough decision. And as much as you may like John Harbaugh, and I feel like he the only coach where people like, oh, he's got a Super Bowl win. No one says that about Mike McCarthy. They say he's mid. That's what he is. That's what he's become. To be honest with you, John he got the Super Bowl, but I mean,
Ray Lewis. Mid. I mean,
yeah, the Ray Lewis, the Ed Reeds, all of
and
that.
I'll add myself into this real quick. When I criticize Tomlin, one of them first things, fuck them winning seasons. That Super Bowl was so you got a point. He does get that Super Bowl.
He gets that bell more than anyone. Yeah, and you know what it is Raven fans, and then you got the Raven fans.
It's a sector of Ravens fans.
It's a sector.
John
you got the Raven fans who don't want no accountability for him.
DeCosta, Bashad.
Yeah, you can't say nothing about him. You can't say nothing about Tucker missing field goals,
Lamar,
because it's like you going against the brand, and it's okay to go against the grain sometimes. Like being uncomfortable is okay sometimes, and that's why I think the Ravens got an issue right now. Everybody's comfortable, And I mean, you can kind of see it in Lamar's post-game presser. He's getting to a point where he's frustrated. Like at some point, there's got to be some accountability from up top. And the coming in week week out, oh, if we did this, if we did that. I mean, if ifs and buts with sugar and nuts, what a wonderful world it'd be.
Oh shit!
But it's not. And you can't deal in hypotheticals in the NFL. You got 17 games to prove who you are, put yourself in a position to win playoff football games at home potentially, and the Ravens haven't done that. And now the way the schedule lines up, you go to LA for a Monday night game. You come back home against Philly on a short week at home. I mean, you 7-4, but what's that look like in 2 weeks? What's that look like the first week in December? Are you 7-6? Or did you split? Are you 8-5? But I mean, the way Pittsburgh looks, you going to Cleveland, the game I'm sure you're comfortable with. I mean, where's the let up there? I mean, you still got to see Cincy twice, but are you really worrying about that at this point, the way they look? So, I mean, the Ravens missed an opportunity yesterday. I mean, just got away from themselves. I mean, throwing the ball. I mean, you see Henry don't touch the ball in the fourth quarter in a one-possession game. I don't know, man, but it's at this point, it's the same thing year in, year out against the same opponents. And if you can't beat the Steelers, let alone the Chiefs, you ain't never even going to get to a Super Bowl. Forget what you can do against the NFC. You can't get out the AFC. So, I mean, it's just frustrating. Like, you don't even – that's the thing. Like, we're not even talking X and O's about the game because it's the same thing with them. It's the same. At this point, it's fundamental with them. This is a foundational issue, and the more we talk about it, is I just don't. This team is not a Super Bowl team. They're not built to win a Super Bowl right now, and unless they make some serious changes in the upcoming weeks, they're gonna be a wild card team, and they'll be home by Martin Luther King weekend again.
Let's hope they're a wild card team. I don't want to over exaggerate anything, but the schedule is the schedule, and nothing's a given. Nothing's a given with this team. And again, you know, I still feel like we are a competitive team. We can be that playoff team, but ain't nothing a given. The Chargers don't beat themselves. You know, they're playing. It's not the Brandon Staley Chargers. I mean, they actually have a plan. They stick to the plan and they execute it. And quiet is kept. Justin Herbert has always been Justin Herbert. Nothing should surprise you with Justin Herbert. He been this. He just got a coach that don't sell him. You know, it's kind of like Lamar. Like, could you imagine what he would be with a Tomlin or Andy Reid, with coaches that don't sell their players? Who knows? Might be a champion. But, you know, we have who we have. And then Ravens fans say, if not John Harbaugh, then who? Well, nigga, I don't know what to tell you. But, I mean, shit, I wish he would be with Ben Johnson. I'll tell you that.
Oh, my God.
I mean,
God. Lamar with
give
Ben
me
Johnson.
Bill Belichick, and I feel a little good. I feel a lot better about penalties. I'm just saying. We talking about discipline. Bill Belichick, he's the discipline guy. He was so much a disciplinarian, people didn't want to be in his organization because they're like, damn, I can't even have fun over here. Nah, it ain't about having fun. It's about winning. I don't care about who's got it better than us. I care about a W. You know what I mean? Like, when the Ravens are flying home from Pittsburgh, I wonder if they think like, yo, damn, who got it better than us? Like, yo, like when Lamar's at that podium saying, yo, this shit is frustrating. I wonder if he thinks like, yo, who got it better than us? You know what I mean? Like, it's comical. We had Jack Harbaugh putting up the fist, like, yeah, after game 4. We ain't win nothing. We didn't do nothing. Like our mind don't be in the right place. And, you know, we brought up the 2-point call. Let's discuss the 2-point call. So, again, this goes back to coaching, Sko. We come out with our initial look. You guys take a peek at it and then call a timeout.
Call that timeout real quick.
Great coaching.
Yeah, that shit was about
great.
To be
it's the little things, Sko.
Yeah, because that shit was about to be a jump pass. Easy 2-point conversion. They said, whoa. Scrap that.
And then we were going to one side, right?
Mm-hmm.
Call the timeout. Now the play is shifted. Now we're going to the complete opposite side. Pre-snap, Isaiah Likely, Nelson Aguilar. They're looking at each other like, yo, what's going on? Mm-hmm. They're trying to figure out where they're lining up. They were the key blockers in that play. Lamar said it was a design run. They were the guys that were supposed to block. They don't even know where they're supposed to line up. pre-snap. First of all, if this is the biggest play in the game, why are any of our players having any miscommunications? I put that on coaching.
After timeout.
Biggest play of the game, after a timeout, there's miscommunications and confusion. And again, let's put it back on coaching. Biggest play of the game. That's your play call? Just running Lamar behind Ronnie Stanley? Who would have thought?
Mm-hmm.
Who would have thought? Oh, what a creative idea. Let's put him behind our best offensive lineman and see what happens. You don't think the Steelers thought, this could be a possibility. Let's load up over here. You don't think that? No elements of surprise. You got all those playmakers, right? The Andrews of the world, the Likeleys of the world, the Zay Flowers of the world, the Lamars of the world. Derrick Henry was on the bench. 2-point conversion, Derrick Henry was on the bench. You don't even have him on the field as a decoy. This is the biggest play of the game, and this is the play call you decide. And then there's miscommunication at that. Let's go.
You don't see Aguilar and whatever his name is doing that likely and say, oh well, let me call one my damn self.
But yeah.
Hey, let me call one and let me make sure we do have this 100% right once again, because we just talked about it and they went out there and they still don't look like they know what they're supposed to do. Let me call one and get us right again.
Honestly, that timeout, to your point, calling a timeout there. I know we wanted to preserve 3 just in case we didn't get it, but honestly, getting that 2 was more important than the 3 timeouts. Having the 3 timeouts, right? Like we needed that 2 points to tie the game. At that point, you don't care about the timeouts. At that point, you just want to play good defense and see where the game takes you, whether it's overtime or getting the ball back. But yeah, I mean, again, situationally, Monken has to be better. And it's all good against lesser teams, man. Like I brought it up. I don't know if it was last show or a few shows ago, but this starting out slow thing is becoming a trend. I mentioned the Bucks game where had Mike Evans not gotten hurt, had they not been a couple holding calls on touchdown catches, that would have been more of an issue of a game than what it became to be, because they were blitzing us in the first quarter. We were fortunate to kind of catch our footing, collect ourselves, and then get back on track, right? It's a little different when that blitz is 21-7, or you know what I mean? Those scores start to count, and then now like you're feeling that pressure because those scores didn't count, because star players went down. You were able to kind of feel your way back into the game. This was a situation where, again, we started slow once again, sleepwalking. We slept walk against the Bengals too. What is up with Ty Monken to the point where we're not starting games the way we need to start games, and then we're trying to rev up in the second half? You know what I mean? That touchdown drive we had in this to potentially tie the game, that was the most crisp our offense looked all game. Mind you, players allowed it to look crisp by making plays, not dropping. Well, say Flowers dropped the pass, but you know what I mean? We didn't have anybody get a ball wrestled out of their hands, at least. We didn't have anybody fumble, at least. So it was one of the most crisp drives we had all game. And it was like our final offensive possession. Like, let's try that earlier in the game. From special teams to defense, and I don't want to criticize the defense too much, but when we needed to stop, Justin Fields was running for chunk gains. Like when Justin Fields come in the game, what do you think he's going to do? 2 timeouts, the situation, and anybody that was interested, go back to that play, that second down play where Justin Fields did the QB run, QB power, I should say. Look at Kyle Hamilton on that play. Number one, he was hobbling. He was on one foot, literally hobbling. He was about 10 to 15 yards behind the line of scrimmage. And when the ball snapped, he didn't pursue. He was hobbling. It looked like he was on the field and trying to remain on the field so that we didn't have to call a timeout to take him off the field. But he wasn't somebody that was going to be able to make a play for you on the field. Right? So the safety staying back. Everybody else is near the line of scrimmage. And Justin Fields comfortably ran for 9 yards. If anything, if he didn't slide, he would have had 10, 11. and the game would have been done right there. Everybody knew what was happening, and we let him do what he wanted to do. So much so that there was no drama. There was no confusion about what was happening. We lost the game at that point. When Justin Fields leaves the bench, going back to that 2-point call, Keith. When you have Justin Fields as a Steeler, you don't think they seen that shit all season?
They see it every day in practice. They got that on. They had this the first year they probably had an actual mimic of Lamar in the practice, like to go against scout team. Like
you've seen Lamar
it
for
looked
5.
like it.
You've seen Lamar for what, 7 seasons now?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You have intimate dealings with Justin Fields going back to minicamp. You're trying to implement similar play calls for him.
Mm-hmm.
So your defense is seeing it because you're implementing it your damn self.
Yeah,
And we thought we was just going to be like, hey, run behind Ronnie Stanley.
To that point, this week, Justin Fields said, my job in practice was to make this defense as uncomfortable as possible, mimicking Lamar. And
I'm shocked.
to his athletic ability, this isn't just some random guy that you come in to beat some scout team off a practice squad. Nah, Justin Fields can mimic that. Yeah,
this ain't putting a wide receiver at quarterback and telling them just act back
that's
there
not Josh Dobbs, my nigga.
Hell nah. This is you gotta respect that.
Yeah,
you gotta respect that. And defensively, it showed. Can I jump in here? I got to your Justin Fields point. I'm glad that we did give him. It was only a couple plays, but I'm hoping that's more, because especially if Russ isn't going to be crisp, and this is 2 games. I'm not going to forget, but I just think Arthur Smith needs to rein it back a little bit. Like, he threw the ball 36 times. That's just one too many for me and Russ, especially if a lot of it wasn't even play action. Like, he's dropping back, and usually when you see mobile, he's not mobile anymore. When you see Lamar scramble, all right, he about to make magic happen. You know, when Justin Fields scramble, he's about to make magic happen. I get nervous when I see Russell scramble. Like, when I see him running around, it's an oh shit moment for me. So we need to rein it back in just a little bit, get back to the basics of what made us successful against the Jets, the Giants, and key moments, the Commanders.
Let me stop you.
Yes.
We're not the Jets or the Giants.
Y'all defense should have been. And that's my point.
Not in the division game.
Not in the division, but it should have been.
And we made some adjustments. Y'all
good adjustments. That 2 deep safety. I said, all right, go ahead, Zach Orr. I like that.
Giants, my nigga.
I like that. I like that. But I'm just talking about what made our pass game work. We got away from what we did. Wasn't a lot of play action. It was just him dropping back and you hoping that he sees the middle of the field. Man, Russell Wilson ain't never been a guy that saw the middle of the field, even when he was in his prime. Like, it's no need for y'all to try to make him into something that he's not at 35 years old.
Well, on the flip side, I mean, it's not like Najee Harris had the most efficient game. So when you're giving it to him first down or second down, and he's only getting a couple of yards, 3 yards a pop, you're putting Russ in those positions to have to make those plays.
I wanted to see more screens in the game early on, just based off because the Bengals had.
And Russ ain't never really had real success against the Ravens. I mean, granted, it's not that same.
Yeah, I know.
But
you know what? I was thinking about
a great success against
shit.
us.
Lamar won MVP. That he won that first MVP when Harbaugh is asking him, "Hey, do you want to go for it?" And he's like, "Hell yeah, I remember that." Like I remember that.
I mean, the defense made Russ yesterday. I mean, it didn't look like what it's looked like since he's been there, at least. Like the long balls, the moving the football. I mean, we had y'all in some 3rd and longs. I mean, and that's more so because y'all weren't getting any runs on 1st and 2nd down. Like, we was blowing that up.
That's why I'm not too.
Let me push back. Let me push back a little bit because you got people like Odafe Owe who had 2.5 sacks. Like, Russ was under duress. Russ was under duress, and to his credit, the only mistake he really made was in the red zone.
Yeah, and that was
he was in the red zone.
That was a 50-50. And that's why.
How many times was he in the red zone?
Yeah, that's why I'm not.
Hold on, Skull. How many times was he in the red zone compared to us?
Oh, yeah.
Who has the MVP?
Yeah, that's true.
Did Russ play that bad? He put up points on the board. Mind you, they were field goals. It
Put
was
us in a
incomplete.
You're right.
Every time he had the ball, he was putting pressure on us.
Complimentary football.
Yeah, that's what it was. And sometimes
That's
you
how you
need
win
that.
games.
Yeah,
He did that in Seattle.
Yeah,
Yeah,
That
he
went
had
Super
no. He
Bowl.
didn't get no zero possessions when they needed it. He at least got
no.
3. It
When
wasn't
he
no
needed a
empties.
first down, what he had,
Yeah.
he had to play the Project Washington, right? The first when you guys got the ball last, right? Y'all had a first down to Broderick, and then and then you
Darnell,
had and then not Broderick, Darnell, excuse me, and then you had Justin Fields coming on second down, and that was it. But no empty possessions. He did what he needed to do.
No, and I'm just being ticky tack because it was a difference from the weeks prior where it was like they let him just drop back and hey, let's pass the ball, which is fine.
What about George Pickens? Are we going to acknowledge that throw to George and that catch and the adjustment?
Hey,
I wish my guys could make it.
They had Zay Flowers right in the face mask.
Yeah, did. They had their moments, and George is George, and hey, I've been saying that since he was soon as you saw him in that first preseason game and Mason threw, I said, oh no, he's one of them, and he's proven it. This is just ticky tack stuff that I just want cleaned up because
let's be honest. Hold on. Yeah. I keep cutting you off. I apologize.
All good.
12 targets, 8 catches, 89 yards. Russ got the ball to his playmaker.
Let's do the inverse. Let's do that. Yeah.
Zay Flowers, 2 catches, 39 yards. Now, mind you, he should have had another catch on that jacket.
Yeah.
Bateman, 5 targets, 2 catches, 30 yards. Mark Andrews, 3 targets, 2 catches, 22 yards. Did we get our playmakers the ball versus you guys getting your playmakers the ball? I don't know.
Yeah. This is just me being a little ticky tack because this is the first year in a while where it's like, oh no, we just not gonna sneak in this time. We've been sneaking in, and it's kind of like, all right, we just at the party, we just try and grab some ass, we just want to rub a tit, a little happy.
You can't do that no more, Scott. Anyway,
a consensual grab, right? But now it's like, oh no,
think y'all that type of team.
Nah, and I've been hit. Yo, I'm glad you said that. Somebody I just don't think y'all are that good. Excuse me? Let me tell you something.
Who said that? A Ravens fan?
Of course.
So we're that good?
And I said, all right, you tell me that a defense goes up against the number 1 offense in the league, who's been averaging 440 yards a game, 330 in the air or probably more, almost close to 200 on the ground. Everything that we did to y'all was way south of that. And you telling me that we not that good? I don't want to hear that. And this is different from last year because last year y'all had about 8 drops. Y'all had a couple drops. Wasn't like that. This wasn't a game where you can say the starters weren't playing. This wasn't a game of that. This is one that everybody was damn near full strength. And we out physical y'all. We got in y'all head. We are in y'all heads. We are in your heads. We're in the players' heads. We're in the coaches' heads. Don't tell me that we're not that good because it was 18-16. I don't know what you was thinking. I don't know what you thought AFC North football was going to be, but and it's one of the reasons why everybody asks me like, yo, you're from Baltimore. How? Yo, I don't think y'all intimately know these fans like I do. Y'all, I'm lucky to know y'all. We can talk ball and it's logical. It makes sense. I get on here if it's a loss. I'm in a win over here criticizing Russ. Like, you don't have to like everything. And it's these, y'all not that good. Yo, I don't want to hear that, yo. I don't want to hear that, yo. And you really don't know ball if you're looking at this defense. You're saying, yo, y'all not that good. It was a defensive game on both sides. It was a defensive game. Both offenses did not look that good. Didn't look that crisp. If Nick is telling you, yo, our first crisp drive was the last offensive drive that we had in the fourth quarter. Obviously, it was a defensive game. So don't tell me that we're not that good. I take offense to that. Like, seriously, that pissed me off. It's like, yo,
now y'all don't get to where you are right this second without having a solid team. And again, you guys are a team.
Yeah,
we are an offense.
Yeah.
You guys are a team.
And I can see for y'all how frustrating it would be. Like, damn, we finally get a performance from the defense, and what do you know? The fucking offense is
every time. We can't put it all together. Yo, Keith mentioned playoffs earlier. So the Ravens, as we speak, 97% chance of reaching the postseason at 7-4. If the season would end today, the Ravens would be the 6th seed on the road playing the Steelers. 10 wins is what we're going to have to get to at the very least to get into the postseason. So that means we're going to have to win half of our remaining games. We got the Chargers, as Keith mentioned, and the Eagles at home. Chargers on the road, Eagles at home, at the Giants. I might go to that Giants game. You got the Steelers at home, Texans on the road. And again, like, don't tell me about Beyonce when I lost a game like that, bro. Like, don't announce that after a loss. Like, who cares about Beyonce in times like this?
Who care about Netflix the way what they put out Friday night?
Oh man.
And then the Beyonce fans are going to crash the server even more.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
My fairy godmother. Yes, I can't take it. Not on Christmas. Not on Christmas.
My wife texts me like, "I'm cooking a big feast. What you want?" And I was like, "Well, shouldn't you always be cooking?" And like, nah. I said, "Oh shit." I said, "Oh shit, Beyonce, word, damn." And I thought immediately about that fight. I said, "Yo, I don't know if they can handle that."
And then the
hope it's on local TV.
So Browns and Giants are what you would think would be easy wins, but we lost to the Browns, didn't we? Damn, that looks crazy. They 2-8. That looks fucking nuts.
I mean, I think the irony of it all is that, like, you hear Bill Belichick come in week in, week out on some of the shows he's on, and he's like, if this Ravens team could just not beat themselves, and that's really, to me, just a nice way of him saying, like, our coaches, like, we got some serious issues.
Oh,
like,
that's what you think he's saying?
About it.
I agree.
I know.
I agree, but I think it's deeper. I think he's saying.
I mean, I think it is too, but
yeah. I'll coach them niggas for you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what he's really saying. But I'm trying to be cool. But nah, like when you hear a coach of that out continue to say that week in, week out, like when teams continue to beat themselves, and yeah, you can put some of it on the players, but that's problems throughout the week. Like they had all week they had to say, if we in a position where we need a 2-point play, this is what we going out and running. And despite all that, you still come out on that play and you got two dudes trying to figure out where they supposed to line up. Like it's small stuff like attention to detail like that where I think this team just misses. Because instead of paying attention to detail, they dancing, having cookie parties, doing all the other stuff. Like it's the little things. Like that stuff has to be practiced throughout the week. Yeah, the IG lives, that stuff has to be practiced throughout the week. And to have your biggest play of the game and it wasn't even a chance. Like the play had no chance from the snap. And like to see, like, it's just, we got issues, bro. And until we really address the head, and I think we know what that is, I think this team will be in the same consistent cycle. Brenda had a baby.
Just real quick, I'm gonna just shoot to the first commercial break, and we can resume with Brenda had a baby. Nitty Gritty.
When I want some sports news, Nitty Gritty is definitely who I'm tuning into, man. They show up each week with that uncut, that raw, that unfiltered sports news.
They say the things that everyone else wishes that they can say, but they can't.
Every Tuesday and Saturday, I am locked into my favorite sports show, Nitty Gritty.
Nitty Gritty, the best show out right now. Tune in and listen, stupid.
All right, you can go and continue your point. Brenda had a baby.
Yeah, no, that was a good point. I mean, it is the same cycle, and you gotta play the game within the game too. Like I keep going back to that 2-point conversion. Like there's no deceit. There's no like it's like what we line up in is what we're gonna do, right? Like it got to be some way in which we conceal better what we're trying to do. It got to be some way in which we anticipate the timeout being called by the Steelers. All right, if we go up, we're going to show this look. If they call a timeout, cool, because that's not the look we really want to go with. If they don't call a timeout, we could always just audible. Let's go up there with 20 seconds still on the clock and play things at the line. And we trust our MVP quarterback to make the right call. But it don't never go like that, man. It's just like we always getting outclassed and outcoached, and for a coaching staff that we just continually allow to be excused for these errors. And then we talk about 2012, which was so long ago. And he wasn't the reason why we won in 2012. I can understand if he had a big part to play in that, but he didn't. He was along for the ride, just like the fans. That was Ray Lewis's team, so to speak. When Ray Lewis said, yo, this is my final ride, I'm going to put this deer antler spray on my shoulder and we're going to get it cracking. That was a rallying cry for the rest of the team. The team said, you know what, this is Ray's last ride. We got to do it for him. You know what I mean? And everybody raised their level of play. People weren't doing that for John Harbaugh. There was nothing John Harbaugh said in the locker room that inspired that. And how do I know that? Because the 12 years post that moment, what has happened? Has John Harbaugh been able to inspire and uplift? And I've seen Tomlin inspire and uplift a team with Duck Hodges. I've seen it with Kenny Pickett. I've seen how coaching can take mid and make mid and you basically molded mid into something a little bit better. We have the talent, and the coaches holding us back.
Nah, in that same breath, I mean, you look at before Ray announces that's his last run, essentially. I mean, the Ravens were in a cycle, a continual cycle of being in a divisional AFC title game and not getting over that hurdle. It wasn't until Ray says, oh, this is my last ride, and it's this hoorah moment. And you can kind of tell by the path. I mean, you beat the Broncos the way you beat them. You beat Tom Brady and them finally getting over that hurdle, but it was a consistent cycle then. It just wasn't a 12-year cycle. So now that it's been 12 years, the cycle, it don't look good. And like for me, like I tell Keys this all the time, when the Ravens run that Lamar rollout and they cut the field in half, I hate that. I hate that play. But they threw a fix into it a couple weeks ago. They rolled them out and they slipped somebody. So it looked like a design run. But if you remember the play, the tight end slipped and he just dumped it to him for like a long gain. I think it was a touchdown pass, actually. But I'm like, those little nuances, that's how you keep teams on their heels. The way they lined up yesterday, they gave it away. The tell was there. And then just to flip the play, I mean, the Steelers are a smart defensive team. You didn't do yourself no favors with that. So the Ravens, man, it's just they got to really figure out what's our identity. We got to stop hanging out here on the identity of this team when we had legends. The Ray Lewis is that's not our identity no more. Who are we as a football team? I don't know right now today. And that's a problem when you're saying Thanksgiving next week and you don't know who you are as a football team.
Well, unfortunately, we know who we are as a football team. It's just not who we need to be. We are an inconsistent team that will beat itself and continually beat itself. And then after we beat themselves, say, wow, we beat ourselves. Well, in the moment, stop beating yourself.
Yeah, stop beating yourself.
And then, going back to Pickens and just the archetype of some of these players, John Harbaugh won that Super Bowl, and we gave him the autonomy to coach and frame the team in his image, right? So when when the Ravens won the Super Bowl, legends retired, or legends went to different teams, or so to speak, some of those loud voices left the locker room after the Super Bowl. The Baltimore, what Sko knows Baltimore to be, what Keith knows, and I know what Baltimore Ravens football to be, that left. And everything was made in John's image, John and Jack Harbaugh's image, and that's soft. We've been soft ever since. Seriously, I'm not saying we haven't been talented. I'm not saying that we haven't been well constructed. We've had good rosters, but we're soft, cotton soft, and there's some teams that will be a little bit more physical than, i.e., the Bills, in a regular season matchup, so to speak. I've seen them beat us in the playoffs, so I can't really talk that much shit about the Bills. Anyway, there's certain matchups where we'll out physical teams, but when we play those really physical teams, we'll beat up on the Dallas Cowboys. They soft too. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna win the soft battle, pause. But as far as out, like the teams that just bring it on offensive line, defensive line, well coached, sturdy and disciplined, focused, those teams always give us the toughest issues, and those are the teams that usually outlast, right? Those are teams that you're going to have to see to be able to take that step into a Super Bowl situation. I mean, the Chiefs aren't going anywhere. The Steelers aren't going anywhere now that they have a veteran quarterback that knows how to win games, even if it looks ugly. And there's other teams too. I mean, honestly, I don't want to see the Bills again. I don't, because the thing about the Bills is they don't beat themselves anymore either. They run the ball. Josh don't have to go superhero mode all the time anymore. I mean, I think we caught them at a good time, but that was a long time ago. Like, they kind of cleaned house and figured out what they needed to figure out for the betterment of their team.
They found their identity.
We didn't find ours yet.
And what works for them.
We haven't found ours yet, because, you know, at one point where we like handing the ball to Derrick Henry, at another point, you know, Lamar is throwing for 300 yards. We've shown that we could do both, but when rubber hits the road, what are we going to do? We don't know.
They say, like, when Henry touched the ball 20 plus times or something, we were 4-0 or something like that. Some number like that.
But Keith, aren't you sick of having to say that too? How easy is it for teams to get us out of our game plan?
I mean, he fumbled the one play, and then, I mean, he's Derrick Henry. I mean, you give him a little bit of bail, but it's like at that point, it's like they lost the trust in him. Like, you still got to keep running the football. Keep him.
He had that one big run. That Minka saved the touchdown. But after that,
Lamar was in shotgun really the rest of the day. He wasn't really under no more. It changed the Ravens. One of them teams like, oh, it ain't go our way to first. Just stick to what you do. Despite all that, you were still in the football game with a chance to win.
I think anytime you can score first or have a lead on the Ravens to the point where it forces us to panic. Like, we feel like we have to play catch up, even if it's a one possession game or if it's a field goal game. At that point, we feel like momentum is really big on how we decide to go about calling plays. And sometimes I get it. You know, that's why momentum is momentum. Momentum is a very serious thing in sports, especially football. But you can't allow it to dictate everything that you do, because the first sign of adversity, we're ready to scrap everything that we do well and just exclusive. Like, the thing about our offense is it was balanced, right? We were talking about MVP3 and an offensive player of the year at running back. You know, so we're throwing the ball, we're running with Lamar, we're running with Derrick Henry. Things are more balanced than it's ever been in Baltimore. But we lose that balance when teams, and no difference than the Chiefs. No difference than the Titans. No difference than the Bills. We always say, yo, why do we stop running the ball? Well, teams are forcing us to stop running the ball. When are we going to allow teams to stop dictating what we do? And again, that goes back to physicality. It goes back to being dogs. The mentality is different. You know, like, we allow somebody to tell us how we're going to play football. That's crazy. When we had Jamal Lewis, did we give a fuck what the score was? He was getting 2,000 yards.
25, 30 touches a game.
Bro, we ain't care what the score was, but we had Devontae Freeman and all of them. And we was constantly running the ball. Latavius Murray.
Mm-hmm. And then we have this version of Lamar Jackson. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh man, we don't even have the guys to turn. Like, yo, do we really think Rashad Bateman is somebody to like, bro, we don't even have the personnel to be unleashing in that way. You know, Lamar Jackson, like these guys show up when it don't matter.
Him in a blender.
These guys show up when it don't matter. Like, yo, stop telling me these guys are people that they aren't. Like, Lamar Jackson threw the ball 33 times and completed 49% of his passes. I'm not going to say that's all on the wide receivers. I'm not going to say that's all on Lamar Jackson. But I tell you what, if we're going to do stuff like that, we got to have the personnel for it. I like Zay Flowers. I really do. I really like Zay Flowers. But he's shown that he can be inconsistent and a bonehead at times in the biggest moments. I'll never forget that fumble versus the Chiefs. How many times we're going to have fourth quarter key plays where you're just doing some boneheaded stuff? Zay Flowers.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? And Bateman, the production isn't consistent enough. You know what I mean? We be ready to do cartwheels for 6 catches and 54 yards and a touchdown.
We like our guys, Nick. Remember at the deadline? People wanted Devon. We like our guys, man.
I mean, don't get me wrong. They're playing well, but well don't be good enough. Do y'all want to win a Super Bowl?
Yo, well is good enough to beat, like I said, 26 teams. You can play well enough, and we can beat 26 teams. You can't beat that top of upper echelon playing well. You're not going to beat the Chiefs and them teams playing well. You got to hit on all cylinders, and we don't. That's a lot to ask right now for us to play a clean, complete game. Like, when have we ever been the most penalized team in football?
Yeah, man. And then, you know, Lamar Jackson in the season where he only has 3 interceptions. Those 3 interceptions came off drop passes. And y'all want to talk to me about weapons. You know, he's playing mistake-free football for the most part. And we know Lamar. We know the fumbling he used to do. Used to be careless with the interceptions. Usually, instead of throwing the ball away, he might force a pass. Lamar ain't doing none of that stuff no more. So you can't even blame him for the beating ourselves part. It's you know, again, penalties, and that I explicitly look at coaching because that's technique. That's you can coach penalties out of a ball club. You can coach discipline into a ball club. Yo, Sco, Mike Tomlin be having y'all look like a military unit.
Yeah, especially after that Broncos game.
You guys are robotic out there.
Yeah, you saw what happened with Broderick when he had those 3. Yo, come sit next to me. No. You need to sit down for today. Shit like that. Yeah, and for the most part, we don't shoot ourselves in the foot. And that comes from years of not being in a position to shoot ourselves in the foot because
you guys are trench babies.
A lot of men. Yeah.
Yo, what was the Tomlin stat I seen earlier? Maybe one of y'all seen it floating around, but like he's the only coach that his team hasn't scored a touchdown. Like they just kicked field goals the whole game, and he's got some semblance of like a winning. Yeah, like
5 and 10.
But the rest of the league is like what
39 and like 150.
Yeah, like yo, that's coaching.
Yeah,
that's culture.
Yeah.
That's culture. We know we might can't score with the best of them, but guess what? What we said Friday, we cannot go into a game and a muck it up game. Yeah, we cannot win a muck it up game. And what do? You turn the ball over 3 times. You miss 2 field. You got yourself into a muck it up game.
12 penalties.
12 penalties. Yeah, you mucked it up, and that's not. We can't win muck it up games.
The Steelers invite muck it up, and then, you know, if we look at the playoffs, usually the playoff, you know, in January, that's prime muck it up season. Mm-hmm. You know, each team knows is win or go home. So we want the game to get down and dirty, and we want to play to the last whistle. The Ravens aren't equipped to play into the last whistle. That's the scary part.
Yeah. Thursday, we got a game against the Browns. Tough turnaround. You know, you coming off of a physical game against Baltimore, but early out, I think we're 5.5-point favorites. You got a quarterback in Jameis Winston. At any given time, he will suit up for you. He will suit up for you, and he will give you the ball. This defense, I like what I saw. Hey,
I hate confidence, though. Yeah.
At least this isn't false confidence.
No,
I came into the year, so yeah. I just want to
say hate with love. I don't hate.
Yeah. No. I just want the listeners to know, if you're new, yo, I will look at a schedule in August and say, oh, nope, we won 11 games. And they'll look at me like, yo, what's your problem? And then, you know, you turn around. But I like what I saw from New Orleans against Cleveland. They had Taysom Hill out there looking like the best football player of all time. I want to see a lot of Justin Fields on Thursday. If Taysom Hill can do that, I know Justin Fields can do that.
You gonna put Justin at tight end?
Whatever.
Hey, running back.
Taysom Hill.
Hey, that might be a good idea. It might be better running back than Najee.
Nah, I ain't gonna go that far. Najee had some good runs too, man.
Jalen looked good, Sco.
Jalen looked healthy.
When y'all needed like
when we needed a run, we got it. With either one, when we needed it, we got it. And that's the important thing. Early on, it was you getting 2 yards here, you getting 1 yard, 3 yards. But when we needed it, they was able to get it.
In them crucial drives, Jalen was on that field doing this thing. So
yeah. So Thursday, I'm not gonna. Hey, it's still AFC North football, but you don't come off of a big Raven win and lose to the Browns. You just do not do that. That's not winning culture. And what we are re-establishing is not just a barely winning culture. We are reestablishing a dominant winning culture. You know,
8 of your last 9, Scott.
8 of the last 9 against the vaunted Baltimore Ravens. Lamar Jackson is now 1-4 against the Steelers. He has 5 touchdowns to 8 interceptions.
I want to know our combined record versus and then Lamar era versus versus the Chiefs and the Steelers.
That's
How many times have we beat the Chiefs? Once, twice,
once.
So
And
we
that
got
was off
we got
the,
2 wins. We got 2
was the
wins in the
Clyde.
Lamar era.
And that was a Clyde Edwards-Helaire fumble. That shouldn't even have that was a and the one win against the
Yeah, we got 2 wins in Lamar era versus
Lamar. Lamar has 2 wins. No, Lamar has 1 win, and then Mitch, who started that game? Lamar didn't start that game.
Lamar hasn't beaten. Well, no, he has. Oh yeah,
he beat us once
because
because that other win was a myriad of other quarterbacks.
Mm-hmm. Wow,
thank you, Mitch. Thank you for that. But yeah, you come back on Thursday and you make another statement in front of the world.
Let's go, Jameis. You got LASIK for a reason, right? Like, you see Jerry Judy. Hold on. I meant to text you, but I was it wasn't the time to be texting you, Sco. You know what I mean? Yeah. I gotta let Big Brother have his day. But you saw Jerry Judy yesterday.
127. I saw it. So we're gonna see Jerry Judy on Thursday. Hey, he was wide open too. Like, this wasn't him making contested catches and shit. That was blown coverages, and he made the play after the catch. Get it how you live. Enjoy that, because Thursday,
Judy.
fucking Jerry Judy. I'm telling you, clip that up, replay that on Friday morning. Because guess what? Joey Porter Jr. do not make me.
You might have to add that to the soundboard. We gotta find that again.
Yeah,
you gotta add it to the soundboard after y'all beat them.
Please, and I think we will. And then, again, I don't need to blow nobody out. Pause for the rest of the year. Don't matter. Again, when people was talking to me today, I don't think it's a barely win column or a barely lost column when we talking wins and losses. They're not gonna go to November 17th and say, you know what, Steelers barely beat. No, say they won. They're gonna say they won. I don't do barelys.
It's more impressive when it's a barely. That means you guys usually outclass the team.
Yeah,
it was evenly matched teams. Who's going to be the team that's going to be the last one standing? More times often than not, that's the Steelers. Yeah. That's a flex.
It's a big time moment thing, and you can tell when you talking sports to somebody that never played a sport. I don't know what a barely win is. Yo, dog, if you tell me that you can put me in a championship game and you win by 1, you think I'm gonna be upset because we won by 1? Hell nah. I'll be more happy.
And on the flip side, talking about what you almost did. Don't nobody care what you almost did.
Yeah, nah. So it back that up Thursday with a win against another divisional opponent. Nick Chubb, what's up? Eagles goes back.
He hasn't been the same since. He over there just running and
quick. Hey, and a little bit of karma. Minka hasn't really been the same as flash plays. He's still making tackles open field, but splash plays, he might have sold his soul on that tackle, man. He might have
sold his soul for that tackle and that win.
Sold his soul for that, and we won that game because TJ and Alex.
It was looking like a long night for y'all.
Yes, sir.
The way he was running, and then
yes, sir. He was looking like, yo, is this Jim Brown? What the hell? But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. We got any closing remarks before we get up out of here?
Nah, we done, man. Just praying for the best. You know what I mean? Hoping the Orioles sign and start. At this point, like I'm not spending a whole lick of money on this team the rest of the season. I'm tired of this, bro.
Understandable. To the Orioles, it's a lot of guys out there. But hey, if you can't re-sign Corbin, there's some guys that maybe you can get 2 for the price of 1.
Mike Elias, don't tease me, just please me,
just do it.
Pause. Because he keeps talking about Big Rube is opening up the pocketbook and empowering him right in these free agency talks. Cool. Show me.
Yeah, show me. Let's go to the last commercial break. Nitty Gritty. Hey, yo, Nitty Gritty Sports Talk is now on YouTube. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. And while you at it, follow us on Twitter and Instagram. Name the same across all platforms. Nitty Gritty Sports Talk, 3 Ravens and a Steeler. Now let's get back to the show. Good show, fellas. Good show. Good show. Hey, shout out. Hey, my man Dwight Parker. My man Dwight. I saw you up there. I saw you on the gram in your jersey and shit. Wink. I saw y'all. I hope you had a hell of a time up there. I saw you. My brother Keys, I can't wait for you to get back. I can't wait for you to get back. Like all of y'all. Young Wilt on Twitter. I love y'all. I love y'all.
Yeah,
I love y'all. My Florida homie, Nick, you know the Florida homie. You know the Florida homie. What's up, man? What's up? I love all y'all.
Clip this shit up. This is hilarious.
I love every single one of you brothers, man. And I hope y'all enjoyed your Sunday. And I hope you enjoy whenever you listen to this. I hope y'all listen to this. I know y'all listen to this. This is why I'm dedicating the end of this show to y'all, my friends. From 8 and 9, 8 out of 9. Mr. 8 out of 9. Call me Mr. 8 out of 9 until it's 9 out of 10. Because 9 out of 10 is coming. 9 out of 10 is coming.
Lord have mercy.
If you view us on YouTube, I appreciate you. Hit the like button. Bing. Comment. Let me know how you enjoyed Sunday. Whether if it was from the Ravens side. I hope it's some Steelers fans listening to this. I hold y'all down. Yeah. Subscribe. Tell a friend to subscribe.
Hey, Nick, we lost that futures ticket too.
Damn, y'all lost all weekend.
Which one? The division winner?
Nah, didn't you tell us put that Colton Cowser one in that he had that weekend in Boston?
Oh, yeah.
He just lost to Luis Gale, yeah.
What?
Yeah. By 2 first place votes at that. I got him at plus 800 when Nick had told us put it in that weekend, but it would have been 10 to 90.
I thought he was going to win it once they announced.
I thought he was going to win. Man, he was minus 300 at some point. And Schemes won NL Rookie of the Year.
Natural.
He beat Jackson Merrill. But Merrill had a great year, too. Though.
Yeah, Merrill was great. Shit, Jackson Merrill was great. They had some good rookies over there. But
yeah, I blame the Orioles the way they finished the season. They finished on the up. Colton probably wins that, but
that's true. But
Yankees win the East. I get it.
And his last, the last memory of Colton was that swing too.
That ain't supposed to count against him now.
Yeah, you're right.
Supposed to count here, but them voters seen that it was like, oh hell no.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Oh man, it's been bad in Baltimore, Skull. I mean, not for you, but it's
half and half. I'll take the Oriole bag, but this Raven bag, y'all keep that funk away from me.
I mean, what's the last big game that's been won in Baltimore when I think about it? Like, is it the
Texans? What you mean?
We
count dancing after that.
Being a rookie quarterback, yeah. I guess the Buffalo game. I guess.
Oh,
I'm thinking like postseason success.
Postseason.
Like I'm going back to maybe being Andrew Luck in the wild card. I feel like in 2012. Like,
wait, wasn't
No, not 2012. That was a little later. Right?
Wasn't Flat one?
No, we beat Andrew Luck the year we won the Super Bowl. So what was that? 2011. It was the 2012. We won 2012.
Nah,
right?
2015 then. 2015 when y'all beat us. Here.
Yeah, I mean,
I think Le'Veon
did not. We just went to the next. We just went to the next weekend and lost.
I mean, you said big win. I'm just trying to help you out, you know. But Le'Veon Bell,
we ain't had success. When I'm thinking about the Orioles, the way they've been getting swept in the postseason, the Turks, they lose a big game to Marquette Friday. Like Baltimore, we due for a win, man. And I don't know if we get one anytime soon. The way we look. A big win, I mean, like something that just like a big one would have been beating Kansas City in the AFC title game. Like that would have meant something to the city. The city ain't had a win that means something to them in a postseason in a long time.
God damn, I'm old. 2012. Andrew Luck didn't seem like he was playing in 2012. But
yeah, I was at that game. That's how that was Ray's last game. He came out the tunnel. Yeah, that was Andrew Luck.
Damn, right. Damn, yeah.
2012.
Yeah, bro, it was a long time. That's what I'm saying. It was a long time ago.
Robert Griffin's a
I was
commentator
going to the JCC lifting every day back then. Like,
yeah, Robert Griffin's a commentator now. So yeah, that makes
everybody
sense.
lift twice a month now if I get a chance. Like, yeah.
Damn.
Life is life, that's for sure.
See, I like when this team behind me get these niggas reflecting. I like that shit. You hear this shit, y'all? You hear this shit?
We calling is it us reflecting score? Or is it just us calling like we've lived this? Like this is not this, we ain't wake up and say, oh, we got problems with the Steelers. As long as we've been kids and fans, we didn't have problems with y'all niggas.
All I'm saying is
I just
missed
talk
about record 15-21 against them now. Like we seen more losses than wins.
Yeah.
And it's been recent times too. It used to be like we take our licks, y'all take y'all licks, right?
Yeah,
but
you might. It was a split.
More.
Yeah.
Now it's just clean sweeps.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Everybody enjoy your days. Enjoy your weeks. We'll be back. But until then, stay safe. Be blessed. We out.